Hey, welcome back to the Astrology of Things. I'm your astrologer and host, Sheena, and in today's mini episode, I wanted to talk about my interpretation of Mercury conjunct Neptune in the natal chart. I thought I would talk about this particular conjunction because this is going to be occurring in the astral skies tonight, March 29th, 2021 at 11:10 p.m. in Pisces. I won't talk about the specific meaning of the conjunction when it's in Pisces. However, I'll talk about the energy produced from this Mercury Neptune conjunction in general. So, this conjunction occurs about 1 to 3 times a year, depending on whether or not a Mercury retrograde period has occurred. Which makes Mercury trace back over Neptune and back again forward during a retrograde period. So this particular conjunction can manifest in various ways based on the context of what houses and zodiac signs these two planets are meeting at in a chart. And it also depends on whether or not this conjunction is making good aspects or challenging aspects to other planets in a chart. So when Mercury is conjunct Neptune, this can make for someone who is very spiritually in tune and psychic, someone who is able to receive information and impressions from unseen or hidden sources. This person, for example, could be a medium, a channeler, or they can have these extrasensory perceptions where they gather special insight and knowledge from their environment. So, an example of this would be people who are clairsentient or clairvoyant, for example. These particular individuals who have this conjunction can be very curious about learning occult subjects such as astrology, numerology, and tarot, which are divinatory arts that are metaphoric and symbolic. So these individuals might end up writing about these topics or teaching these topics or using other methods of expression to explore these subjects and share and exchange that information with others. This conjunction also makes for someone who can see beyond the material world and the physical reality that we live in. They're able to use their intuition and interpret and translate messages and information from imagery, symbols, and the divinatory systems or arts that I previously mentioned. Now, this energy could also make someone have a very vivid imagination, making them great storytellers, someone who is a daydreamer, and someone who is even very connected to the dream worlds when they're sleeping at night. Essentially, this conjunction makes someone want to leave the physical reality through the mind. So they want to mentally explore other realms, whether that be through fantasy or their imagination. And they can really create their own imaginary worlds in their own minds, which they love to share and talk about with others, especially through their art. So that being said, this conjunction makes for great artists, painters, musicians, photographers, and cinematographers. this conjunction can also give someone mental fog or brain fog. It can make someone forgetful of things, or they tend to lose their train of thought often, or they lose track of time. And this can create a lot of confusion when they're communicating with others, because they're not able to fully grasp and understand what someone is communicating. And also on the flip side, people who they are communicating with might not be able to understand what that Mercury and Neptune conjunct individual is trying to express, especially if they are more prone to speak in a more poetic and symbolic way. It's really hard for other people, especially those grounded with a lot of earth elements, to really understand what the person is talking about. This conjunction can also influence someone as making them a dishonest individual. So these people can create illusions and fallacies with their words and with their language. It could also make someone a snake oil salesman, where they're creating these elusive business deals or contracts, or selling products that aren't quite what it seems from the outset. At the same time, this energetic influence could make the person themselves be subject to bad business deals, or falling prey to false sales and business contracts, falling prey to things that are not quite clear from the outset. But I think some of these qualities and energetic influence that this conjunction makes can be offset, especially if this individual is able to ground their thoughts and ideas. And this could be whether through writing, drawing, or other methods that will help the individual cement their ideas and help organize them. And another way I could see this conjunction influencing someone is through the selling and trade of items that make others hallucinate and escape to other mental states or other dimensions, if you know what I mean. So that wraps up my interpretation of the Mercury conjunct Neptune aspect. So until next time.